Hi everyone. Today our topic is parts and articles of Constitution. Important parts and articles. At the beginning of Constitution, it has 395 articles in 22 parts and 8 schedules. Now 448 articles in 25 parts and 12 schedules. We can study the 12 schedules later. Okay. India has the longest constitution in the world. Remember that. Then Constitution Assembly came into force on 26th January 1950. Types of Constitution. What is Constitution? Constitution is the power map which defines the powers and functions of different organs of the government. So Constitution can be divided on the basis of amenability into two. One is rigid constitution, second one is flexible constitution. A rigid constitution cannot be adjusted according to the changing needs of the society, but a flexible constitution can be adjusted as per the changing needs of the pupils and society. So that's the main difference between rigid constitution and the flexible constitution. Example for rigid constitutions are USA, Australia, Switzerland, etc. And example for flexible constitutions are Britain, Israel, etc. And also on the basis of writing, constitution can be divided into written constitution and a unwritten constitution. Example for written constitutions are India, Germany, France, USA, etc. And example for unwritten constitutions are Britain, New Zealand, Israel, etc. That's the type of constitution. Okay. Parts and articles of the Constitution. Part 1. Subject is the Union and Territory. The corresponding articles 1 to 4. Okay. Part 2. Citizenship. Corresponding articles 5 to 11. Okay. Part 3 is Fundamental Rights and corresponding articles 12 to 35. Fundamental rights are borrowed from which country? USA. We have studied in borrowed features of Indian Constitution. Then part 4 is Directive Principles of State Policy and corresponding articles 36 to 51. Directive Principles of State Policy are borrowed from Ireland. Okay. Part 4a is Fundamental Duties. Corresponding article is 51a. Fundamental duties are borrowed from USSR. Okay, Russia. Part 5 is the Union. The corresponding articles 52 to 151. The Union consists of the executive, parliament, legislative powers of the president, the Union judiciary, and the Controller and Auditor General of India. CAG. Okay. Part 6 is the states. The states consist of general, which means definition, the executive, the state legislature, legislative powers of the governor, the high courts in the state, and subordinate court. The corresponding articles are 152 to 237. Okay. Then part 8, part 7 is removed. So part 8 is the union territories. The corresponding articles is 239 to 241. Okay, that's all. Part 9 is the Panchayat. Subject is the Panchayat and corresponding articles 243 to 243O. Part 9A, the municipalities. Corresponding article 243P to 243ZG. Part 9B is the cooperative societies. The corresponding articles 243ZH to 243ZT. Part 10 is the scheduled and tribal areas and the corresponding article 244 to 244A. Okay. Part 11 is relation between union and state, which consists of legislative relations and administrative relations. And the corresponding articles of this part is 245 to 263. Okay. Part 12 finance, property and contracts, which consists of finance, borrowing, property, contracts, rights, liabilities, obligations, suits and right to property. And the corresponding articles 264 to 300A. Part 13 is trade, commerce and intercourse within the territory of India. The corresponding article 301 to 307. Part 14 is services under the union and states, which consist of services, public service commissions. Okay, and the corresponding article 308 to 323. Okay. Part 14A Tribunals, the corresponding article 323A to 323B. Part 15 Subject is elections and the corresponding article 324 to 329. Part 16 The subject is special provisions relating to certain classes and the corresponding articles 330 to 342. Part 17 The subject is official language, which consists of language of the union, regional languages, languages of the Supreme Court, High Court, etc. and also special directives. And the corresponding articles 343 to 351. Okay. Part 18 is emergency provisions. The corresponding articles 350 to 360. There are three types of emergency: national emergency, state emergency and financial emergency. Part 19 is miscellaneous. Corresponding articles 361 to 367. Part 20 is amendment of the constitution and the corresponding article is 368. Part 21 is subject is temporary, transitional and special provisions and the corresponding articles 369 to 392. Part 22 short titles, date of commencement, corresponding articles 392 to 395.